Hello and welcome to Nerdarchy. For nerds, by nerds, I'm Nerdarchy Dave, and we are going to be playing some Cypher System RPG tonight. As always, the fine folk that you see tonight in the game, you can find them all across the interwebs by looking for the links in the descriptions. Steven Partridge is our illustrious GM, and I'm going to throw it to you. We were at session 10, so we're the end doth draw near.
Hey, real quick. Oh, there we go. I was having trouble seeing all of us. It was just a bunch of black boxes with nobody in them. So, hi everybody. I'm Steven Partridge. I know what I'm doing. I just don't act like it. We are here to play some Cypher System superheroes. We have a good time. It's like The Tick, but there's some dark vibes in it too because, it's me. I'm sorry. I like my skulls. We also like some Sirenscape, which we've been using to get immersive sound and music. So check that out. With that being said, we have Mootley with us again. Unfortunately, Ilong was not present last time. So I'm going to roll my D5, as it were. And if it landed on Ted. You are lucky, Mootley. It did not get to you. Why does it keep favoring Ted, I guess?
I don't know. Maybe your dice just like me.
Yes.
Everybody, I am Nerdarchy Ted from Nerdarchy. If you're watching this, you probably have a brief, a concept of who I am. Tonight, I am going to be playing Kiefer Greenleaf, aka Winda, the wind-based stoner superhero, having lots of fun. Last time, we got sucked into a video game, went through several different levels, and in the end, wound up playing some Pokemon, Digimon type style thing with monster summoning battles. Lots of fun. With that, I'm going to throw it over to Robin.
Hey, hi, I'm Robin. I write books, weird fiction. I also write for the website, so go over there, read things, read books. I will be playing Magpie, who is a vampire and not actually a teenager in spite of appearances. And I remember that the villain that trapped us in the computer was named Gamer Girl, which shortens to GG, and I thought that was very funny. Doug, you're up.
Hey, I'm Nerder Doug. I'm playing Leo Lampley, aka Nightlight. And yes, while in the digital world, he did not do so good as his companions, so found himself in a digital dungeon, but was able to get out of there and rejoin them, and got to use his name matrix to summon Light Sprite, his Pokemon thing, where he teamed up with Winda to battle it out. And I'll pass it over to Dave.
I don't know. I thought you did pretty well. I mean, I nearly died in Game World, so it was a little rough for a minute there. But it was a lot of fun. We got to use our powers in new and interesting ways. We got to run through different obstacle courses, pull off a little bit of a Sonic the Hedgehog. Oh, and by the way, I'm Nerdarchy Dave, and I'm playing the hero Blowhard tonight. With that, I will throw it to that's everybody, right? Or
Mootley.
Well, Mootley.
Alang spent the entire episode tapping a screen going, why are my friends running around in there? I am very confused. And then she went and ate a raccoon sandwich.
That is totally valid. Totally valid. So actually, Elang, we're going to open up with you. So as you are watching this screen, right, and you are just so invested in what's going on with your friends, this all of a sudden, when they finish their battle with these little monster creatures in a 2-on-2 face-off, where they even combine to make a bigger one.
That's like me.
It was so like you, and it was so cool. And then there's a flash of brilliant energy, and everyone is now standing in the room with you. And all of you feel incredibly refreshed. And also standing in this room is another figure. Green long sleeve shirt that goes right into fingerless gloves, black biker shorts, pom-pom hair, and these green glasses that scream Jubilee from the 90s. She is standing among all of you, and she's like, well, I guess all of you won. By the way, Dad, you want to come in here? And in walks Walter Mathis. He splits all of a sudden into 3 different individuals. You have now this man who you recognize as from those pictures in the lab. And Kiefer recognized as that homeless man that you encountered. Another figure looks like he's bald. He is really nondescript, frankly speaking, a little bit skinny. But like the kind of skinny where it's like athletic skinny, like, and just by the way he carries himself, I'm going to say Blowhard, you would be able to recognize this man's a martial artist of some sort as well. Dark skin and just these piercing brown eyes, like bright brown, you know? And then also standing among the two of them, there's a third figure. This figure is tall and sinewy and almost maybe looks like made of some sort of putty or something, and introduces themselves as Hybrid, the A-lister. We have a lot to talk about.
Aren't you supposed to be missing?
I was for a time, yes.
Isn't he supposed to be a bad guy? Pointing at, Mathis.
Well, we were Walter Mathis. This is Matthew Lee, and this is Bruce Walters. And they both just sort of like wave a little bit. The martial artist dude, actually, he does like a half wave with his arms crossed.
So what's the deal with the black cards then?
Those were sent out by us to try to recruit those who felt betrayed by society, those who felt like they had a cause. Because honestly, the lines between heroes and villains are really quite murky when you think about it. Both cause public destruction, both cause disarray, and both often find themselves at times at odds with a society they choose to interact with.
But you hurt your friend's boyfriend. For no reason. That makes you a bad person.
We had to test you, all of you, including the new recruits, because something is coming, something bigger than any of us, than all of us. The thing that... What?
An alien robot?
Oh, it's so much worse. It's an alien people. They are an invasive species, a plague upon the galaxies that they choose to roam through, looting, marauding, pillaging, killing, and leaving little to nothing left.
That doesn't sound very good.
They came years ago when the superheroes first were a thing. Matthew here was one of the key people in developing the super radiated drug that was then released on the populace and resulted in the new super society we have. 5 years ago, these beings came back for vengeance. And they are coming again, now that they've defeated all of the A-listers that we took with us to the stars to meet them before they got here.
Defeated as in?
Killed, most. Maybe imprisoned some. We don't know for sure.
Okay.
You have to understand, this is quite a lot to take in. Am I able to get a sense of whether this dude's, on the up and up, or is this hogwash?
Go ahead and make an intelligence roll, trying to determine any sort of intent, or if you have possibly a what do you call, if you have anything with positive interactions or pleasant interactions.
I know. What's my difficulty?
Your difficulty is going to be a 3.
A 3? All right.
Mm-hmm.
I'll spend 2 levels of effort.
Okay.
I rolled a 16, so I'm good.
Okay. So you are keenly aware that this person is not lying. Even with the alien visage that sort of shifts with like a sort of putty-esque sort of form. If you've ever seen the Batman, it's a lot like Clayface.
Sure.
But yeah, you don't determine any visage of lying or deceit or anything like that.
So the majority of the people that were here trying to protect Castopolis on this here planet are taken to go deal with your own threat. Most of them are gone.
Yes, sadly.
And sadly, whatever they were up against was not defeated. Are you here trying to get more? Because if they couldn't do it, how do you think we could?
Well, that's the thing. We were hoping that perhaps the new heroes would arise and be better. Maybe be more. Or maybe the reason that they were B-listers or villains, much like many of the villains we took the first time, were just misunderstood.
Have you seen what we can do?
Yes.
We are not A-list material. We might be able to do some fun things. Don't get me wrong. We got some power, but we ain't all that.
You may not be something that those of your people would expect to be great, but you are great. You have chosen to rise, and sometimes it is that adversity that builds stronger people. I can't force you. I literally can't force anyone, because that's not how my power works. That's not how the powers of my people work. All of us joined with your heroes and with your villains, and we merged the best of them together to make the best teams we could. And most didn't make it out alive.
Hold on. Wait, are you asking us to do this? And I'm like gesturing,
towards Walter and
yeah.
Robert. So one of you takes 2 of us and the 3 become 1?
Yes, that is usually how it works.
Well,
However,
But I am already 2.
I'm the only one left. There is
Were you
no
the one who almost killed Bombshell?
Yes.
And hurt Hot Dog.
I did not intend to hurt the hot dog, but the hot dog attacked, and how would your people say? Triggered me? These Kavarans, the aliens that we face, are canine in nature, and I have difficulty dealing with canines.
Does that mean we're gonna need the dog catcher?
It's
Well, I
a
was
great
gonna ask-
idea, Magpie.
I was gonna say I'd help if you got rid of the dog catcher forever. But I guess we could get him to hell. I don't understand how the dog catcher's misunderstood. He's just horrible.
He's pretty horrible.
He's worse than you.
Well, a lot of people become worse when they're forced to be. Or maybe as a result of trauma or other things. We never said that excused them, but when there is a threat that faces an entire planet, every denizen of that planet is responsible to help.
So, forgive me if I'm asking you to repeat yourself, but are they coming here or are they coming back to your world?
They're coming here. They've been coming here for years. We've succeeded in cloaking the Earth for a time. Unfortunately, part of why we were forced to meet them 5 years ago is because
Sure.
the hero responsible for cloaking this planet died. Not of murder, not of intrigue, but your species, much like all, has its weaknesses, and cancer is one of them.
So how much time we got?
By my calculations, 1 week.
It's not very much time for everyone to get their things in order.
Right.
So you've been gathering villains to fight them as well?
Yes, and pitting the heroes and villains against one another in an effort to prepare.
Doesn't that seem a bit counterproductive in the sense that, like, maybe you're weeding out our resources? I mean, yeah, they're villains and all, but you could at least throw them in the front line or something.
If we were to do that, that would be massacre. That would be unfair. And whether you like it or not, your planet has always had rules between heroes and villains. These standards, these lines that usually are not crossed, like sending them to jail instead of murdering them. Jail is an easy thing to break out of, as evidenced by those who I've invited now downstairs.
Oh, they're here.
Yes, and are not going to cause harm.
Is the dog catcher down there? As I side-eye Lang.
And you see this sort of like shifting in the molded putty face a little bit as the eye shifts from one corner of the face to the other, and then nods.
What about the weatherman?
All of them.
Oh, cried both of your nemesis.
What about the goo monster?
He is being apprehended as we speak by 2 more that you have yet to meet.
What was the name of the robots?
Grace
Grace.
and Sludge Monger, I believe, was Grace.
Mhm.
And then there was like the paper boy.
Paper Man.
Yep.
Oh,
Scarab?
like Scarab.
Mhm.
Ooh.
You mentioned that some sort of substance is what caused these powerful mutations in people.
Yes. This.
Can we get more of that?
substance- Not exactly. We have a limited resource now because it was made from Bruce here. You don't know him. He's not an A-lister, but he comes from before the time when there were A-listers. His ability, his feature, the first one to ever be discovered, is to grant the powers to others.
Can he undo it?
No.
What if we amplified it? We could give everybody superpowers. I'm sure everybody on Earth would want to.
Don't give my mum
Pitch in
superpowers. She's
and-
scary.
Scarier the better for facing an alien invasion.
Yeah, but then I have to deal with her afterwards.
That was a thought.
Though your mum would be a great healer. Her pin rolls.
Shh.
The reason that we thought to do this was because while he can give powers to one, it takes a great deal of energy for just one person. By distilling a drug made from his blood, it helped, but it didn't solve everything. And unfortunately, that facility was discovered by the Associates of Justice quite a while ago, deemed to be a problem, without them knowing the full story. And while I was away on another mission, they went and destroyed it.
So why not have told them? I mean, it seems like the kind of thing they would have been on board for had they known.
Because I was waiting for the right time, and I waited too long, because not a week later from that, we had to go meet them in space because our friend died, and the planet was no longer hidden from the Kavarans. There's never a good time to have certain conversations.
So it seems like we just need this guy to give one person one power. And that's like the power to cloak the planet.
I mean,
That
unless
is-
they know where we are now.
They do know where you are now. And part of the problem is that he cannot control who gets what power, because the power is ingrained in the psyche. It is a manifestation of who the person truly is.
So are you saying that if I had taken this drug instead of being bitten, it probably would have been something completely different?
Most likely. Unfortunately, that power was contagious and a disease. And for the weak-minded, it was a control.
Thanks.
Do you want me to be less direct?
Who's doing most of this talking? Your hybrid?
Yeah, hybrids.
Okay, I was just making sure. Okay, gotcha.
No, be direct as you want. I'm sure it's better. Last person of your species. It's fine. And then I
In all
nudge-
fairness,
and nudge-
your
nudge
power is
Magpie.
probably also contagious, Magpie.
I don't think anyone's caught it yet.
That's because I haven't bitten anyone directly.
The
Is that?
ability of being awesome is contagious.
I don't mean to pry there, Magpie, but is that a choice you're making, or? is that-
More or less, if I'm biting someone, it means they're going down. There's a whole lot of nasty stuff that comes along with this, including sunlight allergy. Like, it's not a thing you want spreading around.
Have you seen teenagers this day? I think they already have it.
So, how are we going to stop a whole invasion that the best heroes on the planet using your space alien combiner magic couldn't?
We faced them directly because we had to. Most of the powers were brutish, forceful. Your powers are different. Many of the B-listers are different, and after we tried to face them in a warlike confrontation and lost, I realized perhaps brute force is not the way to win.
So what's your plan?
You want to send
Well-
us to space on a secret mission, right?
My plan was for you to make the plan. Last time, I didn't trust anyone with information, with planning, with anything. And I failed. And I was hoping we had more time than we do to train you and be honest with you. But when all of a sudden it became apparent that they were coming and were close, I had to take immediate action that unfortunately resulted in Bombshell's injury, which, by the way, Gamer Girl here has healed.
Oh, great.
I think we should involve Crocodiles in this conversation because he is the smartest.
He is pretty
He
smart.
has big brain.
He is very smart.
Can you give yin yang powers?
I've never tried it on a cat before, but and the martial artist just kind of shrugs. I mean, I'm game for anything if you want me to.
I think it would be beneficial to the security of the planet.
Yeah.
All right.
And he's going to ease protection from crocodiles. So I run off to get yin yang.
Okay, you go get Yin Yang, and who's getting crocodiles?
I'll go.
Okay.
So I
I
don't
save
know.
crocodiles some of my raccoon sandwich.
I don't know the extent of Gamer Girl's power, but she's got the ability to muck around with technology. Isn't that how spacecrafts work? She'd be able to get in and muck some stuff up for them.
I can make other people go into cyberspace. I can travel through cyberspace, but messing around in it, I can only do from the outside as much as my programming skills allow me to.
If these Kavarans have some sort of cyber network, though, could we travel through yours to theirs? Maybe we could come out, in their ship or wherever. Is it a fleet? What are we talking here?
We're talking about a whole fleet.
Oh, because I could totally fly through that cyber shimmy light thing that you have and bash some stuff and make something explode, but I don't.
Yeah.
If it was just one.
But if you have an idea of how to use my powers, I'm more than willing. And then she kind of looks at Bruce and in this questioning way, and he kind of nods at her.
Well, if you ask me, you could hack or program or whatever it is that you do, even gaining control of one of their ships to turn on the others. That would make for a might nice surprise.
Maybe. If you think that would work, but I've never tried interfacing with their technology. I don't know if they even use the same programming languages we do.
Do they is their body soft and squishy in any way that we can take advantage of?
The Kavarans, says Hybrid, are very similar to dogs in your world. They come in varieties of shapes, sizes, and all sorts of diversity, but they stand on two legs. They are very close to what your people might call werewolves.
So we feed them chocolates and they all die.
Would that not involve forcing them to eat it?
In my experience, you don't have to force a dog to eat chocolate, no matter how bad it is for them.
I guess that horrible person, the dog catcher, is actually very useful for this current situation.
So, I and all of us will leave to convene with those who are downstairs to explain what we have just said to you, and then we will come back to have all of you address them, if that is acceptable.
I guess we're kind of stuck. I mean, it's that or just let our planet get wiped out, and I don't think so.
Yeah, it doesn't sound very cool.
These
Yeah,
do not
kinda.
sound like the good boys.
It's kind of where my supply is and kind of where I.
That's where my brother's been missing for a while. That's sad. I guess I gotta fight them.
Did you say your brother's missing?
Yes, Garuda, the good version of me. The smart, mega powerful, actually symbolism of my forefathers. I'm kind of the runt.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you meant the other you's brother.
Oh no, Katie's family's fine.
Oh, that's good. I mean, not that your family doesn't matter too, but it sounds like
we're
that's
warriors
a really old
though.
thing.
Yeah, we're warriors. I guess that's if one's gonna go fighting off an alien species.
Oh, we can use them if they're warriors too. You sure you can't find them?
No, I think he probably went off. He's an A-lister.
Well, that's not good.
He's like my bigger brother.
Bigger than you?
Yeah.
Must be the size of a mountain.
But he grows to towering heights.
Yeah, something would be really useful.
So did you bring Yin Yang to
Absolutely.
okay. So go ahead and I'm gonna let you roll this.
All right,
Roll a
if I-
d20 and tell me what you get.
If I can find a way to squander our resources on something meaningless, I will do it.
This is not meaningless. Giving a cat superpowers is not meaningless, sir.
All right. Don't fail me
Let me
now,
pull up my
nerd, if you
table.
die. Let's see. That is not great. That is a 9.
A 9.
That is a
Okay.
9.
Oh, that's appropriate. So he touches the cat. And when he touches the cat, its eyes flash. And in this magical girl style transformation, you watch as Yin Yang grows into the proportions of like a tiger, but like a really big tiger, and also shifts colors from like what the parts that were black are now, you can decide, and whatever. And yeah, you functionally have Battle Cat from He-Man, but for the first 8 times that it dies, it revives.
Ooh.
Ah, nice.
Man, I didn't think this through very well. Do you know how much food you're going to eat now, you Yin Yang? And the size of the litter box that I'm going to need. But also I think, I'm pretty sure, according to all the nature documentaries I've seen, crocodiles can suck it now.
Alang like gets down really low and goes, I like it. But then just goes, don't eat me. And then like gives it a little fist bump. Carnivores.
I don't think he likes. I don't think he's gonna like raccoon, but he likes tuna. Like, this cat is downright insane for tuna.
Noted. We'll add that to the shopping list. Whole large deep sea tuna.
Too bad this situation isn't a little bit fishier.
And Yin Yang just kind of like opens up this saber-toothed maw and lets out this like lion-esque yawn, and then kind of like rubs up against Blowhard, nearly knocking you back a little bit.
Come on, he's got to make a might defense. Might defense.
I choose the foul. Yeah, so I will sit down and spend some time with Yin Yang, the supersized.
Okay. Yeah, same personality, just giant, huge teeth, massive claws, and proportions like Battle Cat now.
Is the cat gonna stay like that, or does it have the ability to kind of shrink and grow as needed?
Bruce just kind of shrugs. Ask it, I guess. I don't know. Every power I give is different.
What do you think, Blowhard? You think your feline has the ability to understand you?
It knows when dinner time is and shows up an hour earlier to let me know that it's going to be dinner time in an hour, and he will sing me the song of his people for that whole hour. Isn't that right, Yin Yang? Isn't that right?
And he just like nuzzles into it with this like massive head that's like the size of a bull mastiff.
Does his mannerisms or anything seem any different?
He seems more confident than usual, but that's about it. Probably the result of being bigger now. Doesn't seem to know his own strength or size yet.
Well, that's understandable, because he's only been this size for about 10 seconds. So.
I'm gonna go downstairs with the rest of them, but if you wanna come up with some sort of plan or something. I know that also there was talk of a couple more villains that might need to come in, but you could talk with Hybrid about that, I suppose. And he sort of like walks out.
So, what about our
Sorry, guys. I just got a really quick emergency. I will be back.
Yeah.
what about our woodsman friends? Have we do we have the ability to ask them if they're of an interest?
Oh, they're downstairs already.
With the villains?
Yes. All
That's,
of everyone you faced or joined with is currently downstairs,
You
mingling and
understand-
hopefully not killing each other.
We trusted them with our kitchen.
You understand that, they and the sludge monster have kind of had it out. They're not exactly friendly towards each other.
Well, the sludgemonger is not here yet, so if that's any consolation to you. And also, I kind of feel morally opposed to working with him. Of all the villains that we've worked with, he seems like the worst.
You didn't have to work with the weatherman.
That's right. You actually worked with him.
Well, I kind of feel bad for him. You did steal his job.
I was told he's out of a job, and I was given his in addition.
Identities,
to what
guys.
I had to do. It wasn't a whole lot of choice. I could be out of a job too, or I could keep working. I think you would have done the same.
Identities, I don't know. In about a week, I think we're all going to be dead.
Yeah, this is a lot to take in. Last week I was, patrolling a strip mall. Now we have to come up with a plan to save the Earth. I don't even have any powers.
Which is about the time that Magpie is getting back and does not look particularly happy. I mean, mind you, who does right now, but you get the impression it's a bit deeper than that.
Sure.
If we need a whole bunch of people to have superpowers really quick, I could do that. I just don't know if I should.
You say your condition is detrimental? Tell me more about that.
So, the reason that I cover up completely, no skin showing during daylight hours, is because you burn in the sun. That's probably the worst drawback. And a close second is this overwhelming desire to suck other people's blood.
That very much sounds like a vampire.
I am.
Oh.
What if we infected the Kavarians?
Wouldn't that make them stronger?
It would make them
Not in the
stronger.
day.
It would make them have insatiable bloodlust. In the beginning, it's almost impossible to control.
If they're still in space, the sun's out all the time there.
That doesn't sound good for me.
Well, you got
True.
your suit on.
They don't. Hey, I'm just brainstorming. I
What if we
never
could-
tried to repel an alien invasion before.
What if we did that, but instead of biting them, we could make your disease airborne and give it to them?
Yeah.
Then everybody else would get it too.
What if what if we could digitize ourselves with Gamer Girl, travel through that to their ship, and release it there before they even arrive?
I got my powers from that, who admittedly was not a very good person. And I don't know if you remember, but when we first got here, there were a whole bunch of jokes and stuff set up, and just
Mm-hmm.
it was a little bit triggering. And that had this tendency to just spread it all over the place. And I think it was because they didn't want other people in the sun. I was never really entirely clear on what that was about, but this entire time we've been looking into what happened to the A-listers, and part of the reason that I wanted to do that was to make sure that stayed down. I'm not entirely sure that this isn't right. I just don't know if we have to. Does that make sense?
Sure.
Well, I've seen a lot of movies. But I don't know about real world vampires. Does it follow the same logic?
Yeah, more or less.
Well, then that might not be dead, which means the other A-listers might not either, because you would have been cured if they had.
Oh, that's only if you haven't fed.
Oh.
And I very much did. Reminder, insatiable bloodlust.
Oh, that's why you freaked out.
It was, yes.
Huh. I mean to add a collar to my costume.
I'm not gonna bite you. I've got it pretty much under control now.
Pretty much, just what we want to hear.
Shut up.
It's
You're
a
one
joke.
of us,
What
Magpie.
I know.
It's what
Don't
I
worry.
do.
In a week, we're all going to be dead, so it's fine.
You can't say that.
Well,
If we start thinking that we're going to lose, then whatever chances we have of winning go right down the poop.
We are going to give our all and see what happens.
that is true.
Because we really don't have any other choice.
Also true. But I don't feel great about it considering what's gone before us. I mean, they're all the heroes that I looked up to. They're the reason why part of the reason why I do what I do.
Canines have really sensitive noses, right? Are these
More than
aliens any
humans, sure.
exception?
As far as, are you asking me?
Well, whoever's there that's been
They-
around these
They
things.
left us.
They all left, so you guys
Oh.
are just by yourselves.
Yeah.
Okay, well
you
then I
do-
that put that on the list of things to ask about when everybody gets back.
Actually, Magpie,
Mhm.
I'm going to offer an intrusion on you that's a little weird.
Okay.
So you can take one and give one.
Okay. Dave, it's been a while since I've given you an experience point.
So
Thank you.
go ahead and I'm just going to give you this. You need to make an intellect roll to defend with a difficulty of 7.
Oh.
But because you are aware, and this brings to mind now, that does have what it called laughing gas that completely disables superpowers and renders people utterly helpless, and in some cases, if they laugh themselves to death, dead. And you think this could be highly effective, but it would require you to visit that old circus, the Carnival of Horrors.
Yeah. Okay.
So you have to make an intellect defense with a difficulty of 7 as you realize this, and all of the memories come flooding back into your head.
I am almost 100% going to fail this. I'm gonna roll to see if I nat 20, but like,
Okay.
come on, dice roller, don't freeze on me now. The internet has been terrible all day. Here we go.
I'm sorry.
7. I rolled a
7.
7. No, absolutely not.
So you just are consumed with crippling fear. Whatever that looks like for Lisa/Magpie, you can describe that as you will, but you are consumed right now with crippling fear.
Oh, she just absolutely locks up. Like, she's not moving. She's like picked a point on the table and is just staring at it.
Magpie, are you okay? Kind of do.
No.
What's going on?
She gets up and leaves the room. She's just like, I just need a minute.
I don't rightly know what that was about. So what about this whole sensory idea? I mean, I know that airborne chili powder can do quite a number on regular folk. Never tested on an animal or an animal species.
Steven, let me know when I've come down from this.
Okay, you actually run into Bombshell, who is outside the door. And she looks at you, and at first she goes to make a quip, and then she just kind of stops. Are you okay, honey?
No. And don't make any of those hero comments, because heroes are brave.
No. This probably isn't a good time to bring this up then. What do you need?
I don't know. I need a minute. I need air. What time is it?
It is currently, you guys just got back, so it's like early morning right now because you guys got back from the video game after having been out all night. And
Okay. Putting that mask on is not happening right now. Like that is not air. So I'm just gonna go to the pool room and inhale some chlorine scented.
Okay. And Crocodiles kind of swims up to you after you get there, and he's like, well, I'm ready now. I'm sorry. Oh.
So since it's Crocodiles, I'm probably gonna be able to explain this to him.
Okay.
What I realized what it means.
You haven't been back to the Carnival of Horrors since
No. Not
it
since-
was here.
And I don't know what's still there, but we really need this, right?
I mean, well, you're not going to like this bit then, but I overheard them talking, saying that someone is at the Carnival of Horrors now.
Who?
No one knows who it is, but the lights are on every night now. Someone's doing something with all of that technology made by a mad, super genius vampire clown.
So we have to go. Have to.
Well, that's up to you. I knew it would be tricky for you. Everything good? Okay.
Positive rats test in the family. Freak out. Anyway, continue.
Okay. I'll go let them know, but I'm just gonna like sit there and put my feet in the water.
And the crocodile swims up and just kind of like floats right next to your legs, like barely touching your legs, and just like sits there quietly. You know, it's his hat design that gave me this mind.
I know.
Can it all be bad?
Well, I know it's not. It's just the idea of going back there, you know?
Yeah. You know, though, out of everyone that he bit, you always seemed the strongest. The most put together.
Thanks, Giles.
I mean, you could have killed me when all of the animals were having these removed and then their brains were exploding. But you left it on. You hid me.
Who lets their friend go down?
Most of your brothers and sisters, I know that's not a term you'd like me to use for them, but I don't know what else to say. But most of them did with the animals they were assigned.
Most of them weren't really thinking for themselves at that point.
But you still were.
You're right. You're right, I was. Okay. We should go let them know.
All right. Do you want me to come with you?
Please.
I thought I smelled raccoon up there.
You did.
Ooh, the nose. Hey, help me waddle out of this pool, would you? And he kind of like
I will
starts
just
struggling
pick
to get
Giles
up.
up and carry him.
He just kind of like goes limp like a cat. You just kind of like carry the giant crocodile upstairs.
Over my shoulder like a sack of potatoes.
Yep. Meanwhile, Bombshell fills all of you in that Magpie looked incredibly disturbed and went to the pool, she thinks, and then followed up with, I think she needs her space.
So this whole smell thing, what are we all thinking?
I'm not sure where we were going with that, to be honest.
Well, there's a couple ideas about putting some stuff in the air and
Like a repugnant smell, scent, odor.
could do an odor, could do something like, chili powder.
I mean, I feel like it wouldn't affect them any worse than it would affect us.
Well, let's see what we don't know anything about the aliens, or their weaknesses, or their strengths, or what they're capable of, or what we have to work with. So I'm not really sure what we should do.
Right around the time you say that, Magpie comes back carrying crocodiles.
Okay, so I had a thought. Yes, it did hurt, if any of you were wondering.
Kind of obvious, but what's the thought?
So that I had this stuff, this laughing gas.
Oh,
And
you mean that?
I mean that, yes.
Go on.
Do we know Crocodile's origin at all? Like, do we know that?
You don't. You just know crocodiles. Well, actually, you might. Give me an intellect roll to remember history or know something. Also, the other person that might would be maybe Kiefer, maybe Leo.
What is the role?
Your difficulty is going to be a 4.
I'm trained in history. Can I roll?
Then yes, you can roll 2.
I'm trained in remembering stuff. Oddly enough, I believe.
Okay.
I believe Kiefer is as well, because of power shifts. So get a roll.
Alang has no thoughts and just like provides crocodiles with her half of a raccoon sandwich.
I beat it.
I beat a
Kiefer
5.
Kiefer did
Hey.
at one point in time, but it's certainly he's got other things on his brain at the moment.
Burn that brain cell.
Okay.
The short-term memory is a little.
So, if we're gonna go get the gas from that, are there any more of those hats?
Yes.
I mean, like, if we could put some of them on some, like, grizzly bears or maybe some silverback gorillas, I think they would want the heck out
Bear
of
in
a
mind,
dog.
it can't be undone without killing the creature that's attached to the hat.
Why would
So
wanna
did you
take it
mean to
off?
say? Did you mean to say bear in mind?
Okay, points for puns.
Mm. That's fine. Why would I want to take it off after we put it on them? I mean,
I don't know, that did.
yeah, but that's a psychopath.
It's true. And I don't know how many of my siblings are still there.
So your boss is a clown?
My sire, yes.
That is. That
Funny.
sucks.
And I just kind
I
of smirk at Kiefer.
I was gonna say it's kind of embarrassing, but also it's so bad. That is so bad. A vampire clown, that is like the worst thing. That is so evil. So we should definitely try and destroy that. Just so that you can't say your sire's a clown anymore.
Well, I don't think that's still around, right?
Well, I mean, that disappeared when everybody else did, but that doesn't mean they're dead.
But you do know, Magpie, that your link to that was severed.
I mean, I had assumed so for a long time because I haven't felt anything from them. Like, in vampire lore, you kind of have that connection with the one that bit you. I haven't felt it since.
Was it tough dealing with pronouns around that? Them and that, it just...
I mean, yeah, a little bit.
So
you kind of get used to it after a while.
We're not going to get to kill that.
Odds are good they're already dead. Yeah.
I mean, we don't normally kill, but I feel like vampires don't count.
They're already dead.
Thanks.
Well, that
Thanks.
present company accounted for.
Oh, I'm one of the good ones.
Yeah, exactly.
This is just getting worse.
This isn't problematic at all.
To be fair, that's got quite the reputation. I was not one to really follow all of the hubbubaloo that Leo does, but that kind of went beyond. So I'm more than happy not having to, shall we say, deal with that.
But it makes sense that they went and helped to fight because they wouldn't have anything to eat if the aliens killed everything.
That's fair.
Yeah, that's true.
It's like when a predator chases off another predator because they don't want the other predator to eat their food.
I mean, unless they stayed, then they could eat them, I guess.
Maybe they taste bad. Who knows?
I don't want to be thinking about
Vampire
men from Mars. I'm really hoping that's not the case.
These are the moments where a dungeon master or game master goes, "There wasn't, but now there is."
Well yeah. You don't say these things out loud without understanding that all of them can be prompts.
Can and will be used against you at any given time.
Yes. GMs are basically just undegreed lawyers at heart. Everything you say can and will be used against you in the court of D&D, or Cypher System in this case.
You're automatically Mirandized when you start playing.
Well, whatever you need, Magpie, we can help. I could go hit things.
If
I can lift heavy things.
I am not trying to besmirch your honor or confidence or any of that stuff, but if you feel it's too traumatic and you want to just kind of give us the lowdown, you can stay here and kind of begin planning, and we can go in your stead.
I want you to know that I really, really appreciate that. I do, but I think I have to.
Sure.
Not because of honor or anything stupid like that, but because I think if I don't do this now, I'm never gonna look this in the eye.
Sure. We
Or
we
that.
back to before, so
Lisa faces her demons. Lisa.
This is why we're friends.
Elaine realized she said that out loud. I was like,
Should,
I thought that was in my head. Sorry.
should we rent a clown car and try and infiltrate the circus?
well, I mean, let's face it. Look at a lot of us. We're a bunch of clowns already.
So,
I got a spangly leaf mask. How much more clown can you get?
I guess the question then is, do you go during the day or at night? Says Crocodiles, who's still just sitting on Magpie's back.
Eating a
shoulder.
raccoon sandwich.
Yep, just kind of chomping on the sandwich.
What kind of information can we gather from here in the HQ? Do we get satellite observations? Can we see what's happened over the last 24 hours or any of that stuff? I don't know how fancy we have access to.
Well, that definitely had a cloaking device. No one could see into the Carnival of Horrors, and frankly speaking, that's probably for the best. The name wasn't a misnomer.
No, there's a reason this freaks me out.
Well, I say Magpie has point on this. You let us know. You're going to have the most amount of intelligence then.
Then it's probably safest to go during the day.
Is that going to be okay for you?
I can cover up. I always do every other time.
I just didn't know if that would add any extra layers of burden that you might not be thrilled with.
No, as a matter of fact, this mask that I have kind of makes me feel more comfortable.
Sure.
Like there's a physical barrier between me and all the nonsense.
Well, then it's established. Daytime it is, unless we have, look around to the other three. Someone to speak up against it.
Daytime right now.
I want to
Only
see
gotta-
Yin Yang in action.
I want to make those supervillains wait around for us for hours.
That's an absolute power move.
Now, if you want, I can entertain them with a roast. Bombshell sort of like twiddles this glowing orb between her fingers.
Are
In
there
light of
any,
the, oh, sorry, go ahead.
Are there any books on the aliens about
I'm not sure.
in here?
If there were, you'd have to look them up with that. And she gestures to the computer, which is right over there.
I have a mechanical question.
Okay.
So, Alang/Katie is actually trained in learning something new or old from books.
Okay.
Is that specifically books, or can she learn something from a database?
She
What if
can
it's
absolutely learn something from a database.
It's an ebook.
It's
yeah.
an ebook.
It's just a
Well,
big
I have-
encyclopedia.
I have homework to do after we get back from like the best circus in the world.
Yeah, you guys are gonna have quite the makeup lessons all the time that we've been running around in these costumes.
I mean, I'm pretty sure you can get a good, valid excuse for saving the world.
Yeah, but part of that comes with a stamp of people knowing, and the more people that know, the more problems there are.
It's fair.
That's
I
true.
mean, I've always kind of been a bit of a loner, so it makes it easy for me to kind of do this lifestyle. No one to really know. Truth be told, it's been quite nice to have a lot of you to talk to rather than doing the one-man show. But beyond the lot of you, ain't no one that knows I put on this ridiculous mask.
Alang would be terrified of the thought of being seen. Sorry, Katie does not want to be seen ever. Funny.
Well, it's good that she has you for a shield.
Or a battering ram. One or the other.
So I guess
Both
the next
work.
question is, how are all of you getting to this circus of terrors or whatever it is?
Well, we
Because
know
I know not all of you fit on that motorcycle,
we
and
know
now that
what
you have this
Nightlight's
giant
gonna
cat
say.
in tow.
we know what Nightlight is going to say.
Oh, public transportation, of course.
There it is.
Sucks.
Oh,
Runs all over the city. You can get
Yeah.
anywhere.
right.
We know this
Yeah.
really good bus driver. He's so nice. I
Oh,
can't
you
wait for
have your
him to
own
meet Yin
personal-
Yang. No, it's just amazingly convenient that the same bus and the same bus driver always picks us up. It's really weird. But,
No
you know,
matter where
the
you're
route.
going.
no matter the route.
Well, that's interesting. But at any
Maybe
rate,
he's a superhero.
I've got
Maybe
some
he could get
villains to
superpowers.
entertain. So
Bombshell. In light of the imminent end of the world, I think we can bump you up to the A team. You've been real trooper throughout all of this.
Well, thank
I
you.
second that motion.
Congratulations, I take it back. You've officially peaked now, not in high school.
She kind of half smirks and then is like, all right, just don't come back dead. I'm not
That's
cleaning
the
up
plan.
this mess by myself.
Don't worry.
A bit
don't
late for
plan
that.
on dying for at least another week.
I don't set out to die, but everything's worth doing at least once.
So you guys are going to take public transpo?
Yeah.
Okay. So
That way the city can see that their heroes are supportive of our public transportation system.
Okay. I need someone to roll me a d20.
I'll do it.
I think the
Let me
king of
know.
public transport needs to.
If you get
18.
higher than a 15, huh?
18.
I was gonna say if you get higher than a 15, it's the same bus and the same bus driver yet again.
And it's
Hello,
already like
citizens of Castopolis.
it's already like leaning on the side.
Oh,
and there's
yes.
already this like Elang-shaped hole, kind of like, and the doors don't close quite properly.
Right.
So are we all going, or shall Magpie and I get there our own way?
I'm down for being a balloon.
I mean,
So-
I have to find a sidecar for my motorcycle. Until then, I guess I'm gonna take public transportation.
It's just
Mr.
the
Bus
best.
Driver Man, we bought friends.
The bus driver looks at you and he's just like,
Before
"Oh,
we
no."
left, I went to like.
Okay, we're here. We're superheroes.
Is that a tiger? I don't think that's even legal. Can I have a tiger on this?
Before we left,
It's a
I went
service
to.
animal.
Technically,
I went to
it's
the
legal.
replicating.
It's
machine
an
that
emotional
we have,
support animal.
and I got it to spit out one of those vests for it that says "service animal."
That's hilarious. I was gonna say it's legal to have an animal on the bus as long as you can fit it in a bag, but that's better.
So Dave, what
It's yin
color
yang's
is your
disguise.
tiger? So Dave,
What's
what
it?
is the color of your tiger?
I don't know because it keeps changing.
It'd be a
No, he said
tuxedo
you could
cat.
choose the color of it.
No,
Oh,
no,
yeah, you
the
choose.
color keeps changing.
Oh,
Oh,
I'm not sure why.
the
I dig
psychedelic
it.
tiger.
Nightlight digs it.
Yeah.
No, Lindsay, he can't shut the door. The door is broken. This bus driver
I
is stuck
think
with us
Yin Yang
forever.
keeps color coordinating with Nightlight.
Oh, okay.
Huh. So the bus driver kind of like tries to go to shut the door and it doesn't work and the door's already like jammed open. He's like, no.
Again, Elang pulls out the selfie.
And you just see like this man who is clearly in his like maybe 30s, but looks like he should be in his 60s right now with all the creases just everywhere on his face.
And she entitles the caption with her big birdie hands, "The superhero of public transport."
And you guys board the bus and it chugs away and it's definitely grinding. Like there's this steady like on the road from where Elang broke it and just destroyed the shocks, and they haven't been fixed yet because there's been so much going on in town. The last thing anyone is worried about fixing is a single bus compared to like the things in the museum, the mall. Like there's been a list of things that have just been destroyed this week.
TV station.
Look, two fairy guys in a forest can only fix so many things at one time. But I do say, future epilogue, when we get rewarded in 100 different ways, we're buying this man a brand new pimped out bus.
Well, there's really no point in fixing anything for like another week.
Yep.
Like after that, like it
I
might
don't
be.
want to cause a panic.
You know what? Mootly. What is the bus driver's name?
Arnold.
Arnold. Arnold is just, he's driving along doing his job, but you can tell he is not happy about it. And occasionally he's just muttering about damn supers, blah, blah, blah. I thought they were gone already, and now they're more back, and blah, 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 blah. And eventually he cycles to this abandoned park, this old abandoned carnival with like these chain link fences up, and there's like barbed wire everywhere to try to keep people out. And yeah, I presume one of you pulls the stop, and he pulls over and he's like, really? This?
Superhero
Yes.
business.
Nobody's been here for years.
You always get the worst routes. We need to do something about that. Like, we really need to get you like a promotion, a new uniform, a new bus. We're going to put in a good word. You're doing great work.
Or we could just hire him.
You know what? I don't know if you could afford me.
Oh,
He
After
just
we
like
get-
glares.
After we get some sponsors, like, we need the NASCAR up our uniforms, right?
We're a boss.
Private driver would be pretty cool.
tips on Hot Topic.
So anyway, there you go. I can't get this door more open or closed. I'm sorry, giant bird lady. You're just gonna have to manage.
Thank you. I really appreciate you. You do a great job.
Yeah. And he like,
She pulls out a chocolate bar from her bird feathers and goes, you really are a great person.
make an intellect roll with a difficulty of 4.
As much as like for the memes, I wish I would pull my auto success on this. I feel like I do need to use that for something else.
Okay.
Yay! I rolled a 14, so I made it.
Okay. So you do this, and there's just like this brief connection where his sternness melts away into this almost incredulousness. And then he looks at the rest of you. He's like, okay, well, if you die, then you can't hero anymore, and then I don't have to worry about you.
That's true. Also, in about a week's time, can you get out of the city?
What?
I just really like you. So, like, just get out of the city in approximately 7 days.
Don't ask questions you don't want the answers to.
And he just like stares with mouth agape for a while as all of you shuffle out of the bus. Lang actually creaking the whole thing and tipping it just a little bit off the ground. And now all of you find yourselves as the bus drives away, puttering and screeching on the road. You find yourselves in front of these locked, chained up gates with these tattered tents sprawling in this huge open area before you.
Well, this isn't very inviting.
No, it wasn't supposed to be.
It works aesthetically, though.
I wish to karate chop the padlock.
Okay. Go
and-
ahead and make a might check. Difficulty 4.
All right.
Lang moves to like stand like half a step kind of in the shadow of like Magpie, kind
Okay.
of in like a really like protective kind of like, I'm not standing in between you and that because I'm not going to insult your like sense of self and ego, but I'm like right here when you need me, kind
This
of like
is much appreciated.
and with her wing out, kind of like a.
So I have an automatic level of effort, and I'm specialized in breaking objects. So that brings it down to a 1, and I rolled a 10.
Okay. All right. So you easily karate chop this, and the padlock just falls off and open, and the rusted chain breaks as it kind of crumbles almost away from the door or the gates themselves. And as you do this, there are these clouds rolling in. There is this very distant sort of thunder. And that was not the right sound effect. I don't know why that's labeled like that. That was my bad. That was
This
not
never
Thunder.
gets old, as I try to chop it in.
And yeah, you guys are now seeing this ground. There's just like this drudgy mist kind of hanging in the air as these storm clouds are rolling overhead, distant thunder. It's very dark. Magpie, it's almost comfortable enough. You could probably remove your coverings and you would be okay, because there is no direct sunlight. And what is here is like dusk level, even though it's mid-morning.
I'm going to Nightlight sort of like just spreads his fingers and like some almost like a grid-like light pattern emits and just sort of like falls over the whole area. And I'm going to use my scan ability, which is to scan an area, including all objects and creatures within the area. It's not huge, but
Okay.
it's short range. It reveals. It says if you scan a creature or object, it reveals its level. And you also just learn whatever facts a GM feels are pertinent about the area. So
Okay.
he's just sort of like doing a spectral analysis just to see if there's anything unusual, like beyond the threshold of the gate that Blowhard chopped in.
Okay, so you walk past this abandoned ticket booth.
Mhm.
As you turn on your scanner, there is money currently in this this drawer that is like a retro style cash register, and it is rusted shut, but it is there in the ticket booth. As you find yourself sort of stepping into the midway,
So there's no like unusual energy readings or.
as you step into the midway, you sense that there are ciphers here.
Oh.
Because I presume you sense ciphers.
It just says whatever the GM feels is pertinent about the area.
Okay, you find there are 3 of these like water pistol looking things that are at this midway game that is designed for these clown heads that look like that's head, but they're like decayed and rusted away, and some of them have like holes in them. But there are these faces that rise as you shoot water on a target that spins. But the guns are filled with acid.
Oh,
Oh, that's definitely worse.
this is a
He gets
carnival
how
of
that's
horrors.
worse, right?
Water pistols filled with acid? Yeah, there's no fun in that. Better take these.
So yeah, anyone
You said
who
there's
wants to
3
can
of
hold a gun. It deals acid damage and erodes away things that could be eroded away with acid. It's a 1 use, so it's basically a super soaker of acid. You also sense,
I'll take one.
in what looks like the fun house. There's like this big open mouth. Once again, looks like that's mouth. And there are these 2 fangs that make these doorway arches. And the place is very eroded away and whatnot, but you sense a heartbeat in there.
I don't think there's something here, Magpie. Although a heartbeat might be a regular human, right? I mean, if it's a vampire,
I mean,
they wouldn't be
Probably
beating.
not one of us unless it's fed recently.
I mean, the prod. Do you all have heartbeats?
It's kind of an illusion. It's not really pumping anything. Just if you get enough in your system, it sort of sounds like it.
Looks like that's the way to go.
Well, I'll. If you want me all to go first, I'll go check it out.
Okay. So Winda, you walk up to the fun house and it looks like a fairly normal carnival fun house. It's definitely a compact place that has hallways that are meant to disorient and confuse, sort of like a haunted house or any fun house at any carnival. It's like a pop-up. But when you first enter, there is a mirror, but it's like a distorted mirror. And make an intellect roll to perceive or notice something.
That's my difficulty.
Your difficulty is going to be a 3 because they're not really trying to not be noticed.
All right, one level of training, one level of effort. I'll bring it down to a 1. It's an 11 on the die.
11. Okay. So, do you go all the way in the fun house or whatever as you see a shadow dart down a hallway?
I'll dart after him.
Okay. You have a really good speed, so I'm not going to make you roll this. You dart, though, and as you do, you guys see these bladed bars just ching, like after Winda, and have now barred the way that he took. There's a branching path into the fun house, but he's now stuck in there, basically. And you dart after them. And you round the corner and find yourself in a maze of mirrors. And you see a figure run out of view of the mirrors just barely. You see black and white stripes, black short hair, humanoid in appearance, pale white. And you notice that the black and white stripes may be cloth, it may be something else. You're not really sure. It's just, it all kind of blurred really quick.
Hey, Zebra, come on back.
You don't hear anything. So what are the rest of you doing while he's shouting? You hear, hey, Zebra, come on back.
Did you guys keep more animals here?
No. Well, yes, but
Just
I
cattle.
doubt that's what's going on. Just be careful in there, okay?
Well, me and Yin Yang will move the back window up.
Okay.
We can't get in, right?
You can't
Are
get
we-
in the way
yeah.
that Wendell went.
Yeah,
You'll have to go the
the
other
things
way.
closed in front of us. Is there? I
Come
took
on, you
it.
gotta
Let's
say it.
grab
Right.
one of
Ready,
those
shot.
acid guns and use it.
Okay, you use an acid gun and you break the bars. You just melt them away easily.
None of you thought the way is shut?
What?
So, yeah, you can now follow Winda if you want. Anyone who wants to.
Yeah, I'm going.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So all of you travel through, and it almost is rickety and creaks as you step, but you eventually catch up to Winda, who's now at this hall of mirrors. It's like a maze.
Oh, neat.
So is
You
there-
hear this distant giggling, feminine giggling.
Do you have like a sister or a cousin?
Many of them. Who's there?
Mimi,
Knock, knock.
have you come to play with Mimi?
I think I have. Why don't you come out? Ollie Ollie Oxen free.
Oh, nobody's free here.
No?
And you hear another giggle just reverberate.
What happened?
Come and find out.
Is there any reason why we shouldn't just break these mirrors? Not play that little game?
That's what I was thinking as well. And I'll step up and begin blowing
Hey.
to shatter windows.
I thought you were gonna chop them.
Except that they might be trapped, but go ahead and try it.
Okay, go ahead and whoever wants to can make a roll to break mirrors.
All right.
Not this guy.
It's a might roll. Don't roll below a 10.
So
18.
can, when he steps up, can I have everybody else step back, and
Mm-hmm.
I will use my winds to try and create a barrier, so that
Okay.
A level 2 barrier.
I can do a level 3 barrier.
No, just kidding. We were talking about her.
Okay.
But make a barrier so that another glass comes back and hits us.
Okay. So,
are you
make
are you
this-
saying a challenge 10?
I'm saying, yeah, don't roll on the die below a 10.
Oh, okay.
Whether you succeed or fail, don't roll below a 10.
What is the challenge?
The challenge to break the mirrors is only a 2.
Okay, well, I got an 18 on the die.
Yeah, so you're good. So you blow and you shatter an entire hallway's worth of mirrors. And up ahead, you do see that one of the mirrors breaks and there's like this blast of fire that comes out of it. But the shield easily blows it away and prevents you guys from being blasted by any of the heat.
The mirrors might be trapped.
Might be.
This place is really creepy.
That's the idea.
It is called the Carnival of Horrors, right? What were you expecting there?
Certainly not family friendly.
Well, Magpie is so nice. I just thought it would be a reflective of her.
It's
Not my place.
Apparently, Magpie's the black sheep of the family.
I'm quite surprised it has not been more deadly than it is.
So what do we see down that hallway?
Down that hallway now, there is no reflection, but there is like this subtly flashing multicolored light that dimly bleeps off to the right.
Supposed to put strobe warnings up when you have those things.
Are we in a big tent?
You are in a fun house right now, which is sort of like a really big storage crate that's made into a maze.
Okay, so it has a roof.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So whoever chooses to go down the hallway.
Unless said otherwise, I will continue to be our scout.
Okay. So you round the corner and you see this light is blipping, and it's actually a blipping light on the hilt of what looks like a toy sword, to be honest, except the blade is real and it's impaled on what is functionally a skeleton with skin that's mostly rotted away and clothing all but rotted away. So it's just there impaled in the wall.
That's intense.
Ain't this lovely?
More
Does it look
intense
like
than a
one of the
circus.
swords you would buy at a carnival?
It does look like the type of sword you would buy at a carnival, except the blade is real.
Should we take the sword? It's shiny.
I don't know what kind of twisted Arthurian legend this is, but I don't know. I'm not so sure about that. Magpie, what do you think?
I think if you do be very careful, everything is trapped here.
Maybe we leave this sword, unless somebody really wants it. I mean, Alang, you fight with swords.
I do, but I've since discovered that my fists just work so much better.
I'll go ahead and do it.
Okay. Make a speed defense check with a difficulty of 4.
I mean, I'm automatically going to pass that. I have power shifts.
Okay. So when you pull the sword out, there is an acid sprayer behind it that just like this acidic mist all poofed right at you, and you easily dodge out of the way.
Right, because it's clearly missed, right?
Mhm. Okay, yes, that was a pun worthy of an experience. However, I am going to impose an intrusion here.
Sure.
So this affects everyone, including Magpie, because Magpie, you set it off. But the rest of you need to make a might defense to not inhale the misted acid.
Might defense. That's not good.
Yes.
What's the difficulty?
The
4, you said?
difficulty is going to be a 4 again. So everybody has to make a 12 or better, unless you
Does
have
my mask
might
give me an
shifts.
asset?
It does.
Okay, good. I rolled a 10.
Okay.
I've sort of been imagining that Nightlight is sort of like, he's personally jumpy and scared of things, and I've been kind of like hiding behind Blowcard without trying to look like I'm hiding behind Blowcard. Would that give me any sort of defense because he's a meat shield?
Sure. Take
All
an
right.
asset for that.
Right. I didn't want to roleplay, but I imagine he's jumping and going like every time they come around.
I bring the
Thank
challenge.
God, I got a 10 on the die, so
Okay.
thankfully.
I bring
So
the
I have,
challenge
like-
down to a 2, and I got a 15.
Okay.
I have like an edge and everything, and I rolled a 1.
Ooh.
So, Elang, you inhale it, and when you do, it's like, and you feel all of a sudden this book spills out of you, and you're Katie again. And you're stuck as Katie for a while.
Oh,
That's the stuff.
what stuff?
The laughing gas.
And now like Katie slash
Field
Elaine goes
test.
back to where she was, except instead of like this like protective behind Magpie, she's kind of hiding behind Magpie.
Clinging like a
Yeah.
small child wrapped around her leg or hip.
I will
It's all right, I
stand
got you,
behind
Nerdlet.
Lisa. Thanks. Hopefully this wears off soon.
Field test.
So that worked if it needs to like split people if they merged with someone, I guess.
Yin Yang, why don't you go stay close to Katie?
And you hear this almost weird trill that cats do, but it's very low pitched because it's coming from a tiger. It's like, and then it goes over to where Katie is, and you just have a giant tiger standing right beside you, like its shoulder is touching you.
Yeah, Katie's like puts her hand into like its fur and just like holds on to like that comforting like. She kind of like almost becomes like a shadow between Magpie and Yin Yang, like I was never here.
Okay. So, yeah. And you guys follow around the next corner, and now there are what look like 4 doorways leading 4 different directions. One has a face that looks like a scream. One has a face that looks like it's laughing, but almost in this very creepy, exaggerated way. One looks malicious, like it wants to eat you. And one looks like woefully forlorn.
Nightlight, can you do that thing with your lights to shine some light on if anyone's been through here? See which way they went.
It's a great idea. I'll scan for heat signature, the footprints.
Sure, whatever it is you do with your light powers.
No wonder you're the leader. You're so smart. Yeah, I'll scan the ground to see if maybe there's like footprint heat signatures or anything on them.
Okay. When you do, you find 2 separate heat signatures.
Okay.
One that goes through the forlorn face, and one that goes through the laughing face.
Steven, I just have a question for my own curiosity. Do I give one off?
You don't, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yes,
there's-
somebody's
there's-
actually alive here.
Yeah, it looks like there's been 2 sets of footprints recently, and I'll point out where they went that way and through this other door.
Does Magpie give a cold spot?
I don't know.
Magpie doesn't let off any heat when you scan for heat.
So some warm-blooded humanoid passed through here recently. 2 of them actually.
So it wasn't one of us then.
Should we split up?
I don't like the idea of that.
Well, I mean, 3 of us can go one way and 2 of us can go the other, and find whoever went through here.
I think it's best to stay together, considering that we already have.
Considering that, you had me there.
Well, that's a good one. But I meant, the fact that Erlang is kind of out of commission at the moment. It's not really. We can't really count that. No offense to you.
No, that's good. I agree with you.
Well, I mean, the Lang is always saying how smart Katie is. Perhaps her great intellect will assist us.
Right, but what happens if we get stuck in a jam and there's the 2 people together, and there's more of that gas or that spray that you can't get out of the way of, and there's a problem on top of it? Then what?
Then you run.
I have a big tiger. Like, to be honest, I'm like really interested. Like, I'm scared, but I'm really interested to find out like what's going on.
So, even though it was kind of in that video game, I kind of thought that little creature that came up seemed pretty interesting, and I will pull out my little special smoke, light it up, and I will summon Smokewing.
Okay.
Some extra eyes wouldn't hurt us here. I don't know how companions work, but it's a level 3 companion, whatever that does.
That means everything it does is difficulty 3. So, like, if anybody were to roll against it, for example,
Okay.
then their difficulty's 3, so they have to roll a 9 or better.
Okay.
So, yeah, level equates to difficulty, and
Sure.
I think you also have a number of hit points based on the level.
Oh, is that what that barrier means? Like, that's how many hit points
Yeah.
it can take, maybe, too?
Yeah.
Okay. We were wondering about
Or it's
that.
what people have to roll. It's what people
Yeah.
have to roll to overcome it.
Okay.
So, like, they'd have to roll.
I feel like how the NPCs, it's like their level also, like,
Yeah.
I don't remember the calculation. but
Yep.
like, that points, hit points and all that. Okay.
Is it like a pixelated Digimon kind of creature that comes out, or like an
No,
actual, like, as if it's in real life version of the creature?
It's gonna be, a real life, except it's described as I had done, and like its edges kind of like trail off into smoke.
Did you bring that back with you?
This is the Detective Pikachu version.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
That CGI is so good.
I've kind of been holding on to this thing for a while, and I just continue with my smoke.
Trippy.
Been saving this for the right time, and I felt inspired by a little trip in the video game world.
Interesting.
And since we are down one bird, I know Smokewing here is not quite the monstrous ally that Erlang is. It's still a little help.
You see, Katie's already like opened her book up and is actually drawing a version of Smokewing in like this ancient book in this really strange script. She's just like studying it and, like,
It's just like when people doodle notes in their religious text.
So,
Katie
Linda,
was here.
Which way do you want to go?
Well, I again will defer to Magpie. You might have some recollection as to what this place was. This is a fun house of horrors here. I would think going towards the Smiley Happy Head would be better, but that would play right into the mindset of someone in their right mind. So, and I gestured the other direction. Does that make sense?
Steven, what do I remember?
Give me an intellect roll. Difficulty, we'll do like scales. I don't actually know if this is a thing in Cypher System, but I've been doing scales where like if you get like a difficulty 4, you get this much, 5 is this much, 6 is this much,
11.
11. Okay, so you got nothing because difficulty 4 is a 12.
But like, if
So
I was
you
a
have
crazy
no idea
clown-
here. Like,
Look, when I lived here, there was a lot of stuff going on. Like, everything was crazy. I was terrified out of my mind 98% of the time, and that does things to a person's memory.
Oh, I know all about not remembering things. I think
Feel dramatically called out.
I think the logic is sound. We're dealing with an insane clown and their posse. So rather than
yes, more experience.
whoever wants it,
I'll take it. I haven't gotten any yet.
Okay.
There you go, Nightlight. So I will point towards the frowny face, the mad face, whatever it was.
Yes, the grieving face.
Yes, that one. And I'll start walking that direction.
Okay, marching order is important for this one. So, what is our marching order?
Take first.
I'm behind Blowhard wherever he goes.
Yeah, I guess I would have gone to go first unless Winda like moved in front of me just because he's so fast I couldn't stop him. But
Okay.
just thinking,
Like the wind, man.
like our tank is not tanky right now, so
Uh-huh.
I'll move into that position.
Okay, so Magpie called 2, and she's also faster than you. So I'm going to say you're probably in the middle with Katie and Nightlight taking up the back with
Magpie,
Yin
do
Yang.
you wanna take guard on Katie?
Yeah, I'll definitely do that.
So, Winda goes through, Magpie goes through.
No, we're gonna
And-
put Magpie at the back, so it'll be
Oh, you're putting Magpie at the back?
Winda, Blowhard, Nightlight,
Katie, Magpie.
Katie, and Yin Yang, and then Magpie at the end.
Okay, so I need for Nightlight
Okay.
to make a difficulty 5 speed check.
All right. Let's see. I'll spend some effort.
Okay.
So that brings down to 4, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I gotta roll 12 or better.
Yep.
Nope, didn't make it. I got 9.
Okay, so Winda goes through, Blowhard goes through, and as you go through Nightlight, boom, and you smash your face into a wall.
Like an invisible wall?
Yeah, an invisible wall that wasn't there just a second ago. And there is now an invisible wall that has sectored off Winda and Blowhard from the other 3 of you plus Yin Yang.
I turn around to my companions and it looks like we're splitting up after all. There's some kind of barrier here.
So all the kids
And I'm
are
like
stuck
pounding it.
together.
Can they hear me? I'm like,
They don't hear you. And the 2 of you hear from your end a cackling giggle that they don't hear.
Come on,
Sounds
Winda,
just
let's
like
pick
the
up
one you've been
pace.
hearing.
Well, we
Pick
don't
up
want
the
to.
pace, Winda. We're gonna get this little bastard.
We don't need to leave them behind.
do they even notice?
No,
They may or may not notice. Do you notice?
no, I didn't.
Not,
but
not,
you
not
say
unless
you
I
hear
can make
anything.
check.
Okay,
far
yeah.
as
So
I
as far
know.
as you guys know, they're just behind you.
The door they went through, did it have, that was one of the ones that had the footprints that went through?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Guess we go to the other one then, hey?
Okay, yeah, that's what I was. Good
So
call.
you
Kate.
guys go to the other one, and right around the time that you guys pass through that one, the 2 of you notice it's really quiet, like eerily quiet. You turn around and there's nobody behind you.
You're talking to Window and Blowhard, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
Winda and Blowhard.
Where did they go?
They were right behind us. I don't know. And like, can we see like how far away is the door from us?
It's just around a corner.
I kind of like jog back.
Okay, you jog back and you don't see anyone in the entranceway of the other one. Like you don't see anyone at the intersection at this point.
I will go back to the door. Kind of like,
All right, and you find the invisible barrier.
Window, we
Can
got a problem. But they
can
got a
we-
problem. You know
can we
that thing
do
you
it?
said you didn't want to do?
Can we feel the door?
You can
we
feel
the
it.
barrier?
You can feel it. You can touch it. It feels like plexiglass.
I'm sure I would start like trying pounding on it a couple times at least. Like,
It doesn't make noise when you pound on it. It's physically there, but it doesn't make noise when you hit it.
Well, I've got one of these,
Vibranium.
super soaker acid things. If we want to give that another shot.
sure. I step back.
All right, so you use one up.
Yep.
When you do, the acid just hangs there on the wall.
I don't think we're going back that way, Winda.
Well, this is like you all powered up. It sucks.
Well, I mean, sometimes I
fire.
suck, but mostly I blow. Totally oblivious to his own words. And I begin going back the way we just came from.
That was a great pun. I'm going to give you pun points for it, though.
Whoever wants it, I'm already in the lead. So
No, for Dave, too.
all right.
I'll take some XP. I haven't had any.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay. So the three of you walk through the laughing area, and it immediately rounds off as well. You turn around a corner, and you... I need whoever is in front to make a speed defense roll.
I guess that would have been me. At that
All right,
point.
your difficulty is 4.
Nope.
Okay, so a hole opens up underneath you and you fall,
Okay.
and then it closes after you. And you find yourself, Nightlight, you're
Mhm.
in this, like, maybe plexiglass, maybe some other clear material tube. And you see that there are like a bunch of these tubes around this big generator looking thing, but it's all powered down. There's nothing really interesting here.
Okay.
It's just, it's vaguely dimly lit. There's like this pulsing light coming from these panels in the floor. So something is on, but it doesn't look like it's active or doing whatever it's supposed to do right now. But you are trapped in a tube.
All right.
And yeah, the whatever it was closed above you. You guys watched as he just fell down and then the floor closed.
And he probably shrieked like really high pitched as well in fear.
Like Finn from Adventure Time.
Yep.
Eddie kind of like
I've never seen that show.
starts hitting the floor ineffectively, frustrated.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You
That's
hit the
my
floor.
fault
hit
on the team.
floor,
I get captured, then you gotta save me.
and you hear the banging from above you, Nightlight.
Hello?
You guys can hear him.
Okay. Don't panic. That's what they
I'll
want.
try not to. I'm in a tube. There's a bunch of other tubes and some lights and machines. I don't see anybody. It's kind of scary.
Magpie, give me an intellect roll to remember something.
Ooh, 19.
19. Yeah, you easily make that. I didn't even get to tell you the difficulty. You know that those tubes, that area is where that would make their true vampires, as it were, the ones that weren't slaves.
I'm not going to tell Nightlight that
Thank
because
you.
I don't want to scare him.
Okay.
He appreciates that.
Just hang tight. We'll find you. I think I remember the way down there.
Okay.
I
He's
might
sort
be
of,
lying.
is it like sort of dark down there? Is it like,
It's dark, but the only illumination coming from underneath in the floor, where there's just that pulsing blue,
yeah.
blue. But there is light there.
Oh, well, I
So like
that.
if you can manipulate light, you might be able to do something with that.
I can't, but good to know.
Okay. Meanwhile, Katie and Magpie continue on. And who's next in the order then? Is it
Me.
Yin-Yang, Katie, or Magpie?
Oh, I was definitely in front of I was in front of Katie.
Okay. So you make a speed check. Defense
Okay.
roll. Once again, difficulty 4.
Magpie can't fail that.
Yeah, I can't fail that.
Okay. So another hole opens up in the
Good roll,
floor.
one.
And then it closes after a minute.
All right, just be careful of those. Does watching for them count as an asset for everybody else?
Yes, because now they know what they're looking for. So Katie, you have to make a roll as you trigger it.
What's the difficulty?
4.
I'm not getting I said. That's
Yeah.
a 3.
So another hole opens up and And in the tube right next to yours, Leo, you see Katie now, and the floor. And so Magpie, it's you and Yin Yang up there.
I have a question. Does Katie's book come with her, or does she lose it?
You have the book.
Okay. So she's only slightly panicking versus full-blown panic.
Yep.
Vampire swears.
So yeah, that's what you know. Meanwhile, back with Winda and Blowhard, the two of you round the corner once again, and you find yourselves now in this empty looking, it looks like a hallway, but there's like flashing lights and polka dots all over the walls. But otherwise it's looking pretty empty.
Lights and polka dots. This might be something Nightlight might enjoy.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same. Did we walk into one of his dreams?
So
I also don't trust these polka dots, and I begin blowing them, trying to blow them away.
Okay. You blow, and just because there's a lot of dust in here and debris, you kick up a lot of dust. And when you do, these polka dots, the lights flash briefly, and then all of a sudden you see explosions of this acidic gas coming from all of them.
Well, I will keep blowing to push the gas away from us.
Okay, you blow and all the gas. Oh shoot. Make a might attack roll.
Might attack.
Your difficulty is 6 for this.
All right. You know what? I'm gonna crank this puppy up. So I'm gonna spend 4 to drop that down from a 6 to a 4. Or no, from a 6 to a 3.
Okay.
That's 11 on the die, so that beats the 9.
All right. So when you do this, all this cloud just goes further down the hallway. And all of a sudden you start hearing this choking and sputtering.
I'm gonna elbow Winda. I'm like, someone doesn't seem to be laughing now.
hello, the hallway.
And you don't get an answer back.
Why don't you rush on down there, Winda, and I'll follow. I begin jogging.
Yeah,
Okay.
As long as the mist is kind of settled, I'll begin moving that direction.
The mist is not quite settled, but it's getting there. So if you move at his speed, functionally, you'll get there about the same time, and it will be cleared.
Yeah, I'm not going to charge headlong into the anti-power mist.
Okay, so I was wondering. I mean, I'm the GM. I have to ask these questions.
Sure. I'm pretty smart, so
you get through this hallway, and you see that same silhouette that you saw before, with the black and white stripes rounding another corner.
Well, I fell for that once. I'm not gonna go charging off. I'm looking to see whether there's any more of these blades springing out or.
Okay, make an intellect roll, difficulty of 3, since you have an asset because you kind of know what to expect.
Right. I have 3 in edge, so it's 3 edge in intellect, so I kind of automatically apply 1 level of effort for free.
Okay.
That brings it down to a 2, and I rolled a 7.
Okay, so you see there is in fact a blade trap here again. But you also notice there is a faint laser beam at about your knee level that triggers. So you can try to make a speed roll or might check to try to jump over it.
Well, for me, that's a no-brainer. But before I go forward, hey, Blowhard, we seem to have a bit of an issue, and he'll show the laser and show the blades and assume that they're going to be like what was there before, and we both have to kind of clear it Otherwise, we're going to get separated.
Oh, you think it's like a wall?
I can only assume it's going to be like the last one.
We said blades.
Yeah, the first one had like blades that came from a
Yeah.
whole bunch of different directions. So if I see one, I'm assuming there's more than one. It could just be a, swingy, and
Hey, I know you have wind powers. Can you create mist or fog?
It's not anything that I've kind of worked on so much. I mean, I blast with winds. All right, well, let me ask that question then, there, Steven. I have distortion.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you got that too. I love that part.
Is that one?
Page 33
I'm covering it.
or 31. Sorry, it's 33 of the PDF.
Okay.
Do you want to know how I have it pulled up? It's
Yeah, sure.
you modify how a willing creature within short range reflects light. The target rapidly shifts between its normal appearance and a blot of darkness. They have an asset on speed defense rolls until it wears off.
Ooh, okay.
So I had kind of like played around with, doing that via wind instead of light.
Mm-hmm.
Could I use that to kind of create the fog and let that roll out in front of me?
Okay. All right. So you do that, and you have an asset to your speed, and it also shows that laser really easily. So super easy to dodge past it.
Pew pew.
So
Blowhard, you do see it too. So if you want to make it pass without triggering the blades, you're going to have to make a check also.
Okay.
So what is the difficulty on avoidance now?
Well, it was a 3, but now it's going to go down to a 2.
So I have proficiency in speed defense and 3 power shifts.
Oh yeah, you're good. You're
Yeah.
good.
That's an 18, and I also have proficiency in speed defense, so I was down to.
Oh yeah, you easily dodge. Easily dodge. So you dodge through that, and you find yourself facing a stairwell as you round
That's
that
it.
corner.
You're going down.
Stairs, the ultimate enemy.
Somebody take a pun experience.
All right, well, I've given one to most people. Who wants it?
How about Magpie? Since
I already took one.
Sure, I'll take it.
All right, so you guys go down the stairs.
Sure.
All right.
I'm
You
keeping an eye.
round the spiral staircase and see a hallway that has these blue panels lit in the floor. And yeah, it's up to you where you go from there.
So there's like light up steps.
Yeah, there's lights in the floor. They're built into the floor, and they're just this thrumming, steady blue.
All right. I don't know how dangerous it is to kind of step on them. Do I have the ability to hover down here? Can I fly?
You can hover.
I'm not feeling stepping on light up steps here as we're
Okay.
getting deeper in.
All right. So you get deeper in, and you fly through, and you find yourself in this big open chamber with this machine contraption in the center, and there are these glass tubes all around, and you see Katie is in one, Leo is in another.
I knew you'd find us.
Katie is starting to hyperventilate, and she's like grabbing her book, and she's like trying to like desperately like shove it into her chest, and she's speaking in Indonesian, saying "Tulong," like pleading with the book to an Ilang to start working again and get her out of this place. She's really freaking out.
Make an intellect check. Your difficulty is 6. So
And
that's an
that is
18.
out of my auto succeed.
Oh, you're gonna use it?
No, I can't. It's one
Oh.
above my auto succeed.
Oh. If only
So-
someone could give you an asset.
I would if I knew how in this situation.
I mean, can I see that she's like, clearly distraught?
I'm gonna
Yeah.
use.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, look, it's gonna be okay. We've got powerful friends. They'll be here. I'm sure they'll find us, Kate. And this is only temporary. Magpie even, that mist is the whole reason we're here. At least we know it works.
She starts to breathe a little bit calmer, and she also uses a level of effort.
Okay. So you actually do get an asset from that, making the difficulty from a 6 to a 5. Because
So I
Leo
spent-
is your friend who is helping you get through this time right now.
And I spent a level of effort to bring it down to 4.
I can't think of anything off the top of my head, but I was just, like, maybe we had some school experience. Like, remember that time when we went to like something that was frightening. I had a brain fart. I couldn't think of anything off the top of my head.
Look, Katie and him have been through a lot in the last little while. So she rolled a 12, so she made it.
Okay. So you and you feel Elang's presence once again as your giant form actually, you do need to make a might check with a difficulty of 7 to try to break out of this tube with your
Sure.
giant, massive size.
I will give it a crack.
Okay.
And she has an edge.
Is that a pun? That should be a
of-
pun.
That should be a pun.
Crack.
Yes,
crack
that is a
into-
pun. That earns a pun point.
I'll give that one back to Dead.
Give me that XP.
I will. So she's got an edge in there that will bring it down to 6, and then she will spend another level of effort there to bring it down to 5. And because I feel like this is kind of important, I will use my auto success here
Okay.
to bring it down to a 5.
All right. You
And I
break
will
out.
give XP to Dave.
Okay. So you break out of this tube, and just as you do, out from behind one of these machines that's down here, steps this woman, and you see she's got like ghostly white skin with like strips of black clothing that make up stripes. And she's got like this black hair cut short and black lipstick that matches, and her eyes glow faintly red. She's like, well, you did come to play with Mimi today after all. And she cracks her knuckles. She's like, I don't think I need my powers to beat you. Meanwhile, well, Blowhard, you are in the doorway for that. So you are, because you were going the same direction. So you saw all that. Meanwhile, Magpie. Oh, you go ahead.
Just real quick, is Mimi and Alang standing on those glowing tiles?
Mimi is standing on one.
Okay.
Magpie, you're up above ground. You easily dodge the different glass tubes and whatnot. And you come to a door with a biohazard sign that's been painted into a smiley face.
Yeah, that
And-
sounds about right.
Correct.
And you open this door after picking the lock, because I already know you pick locks like it's easy.
Yeah.
You do it, and you are faced with 2 shelves full of these canisters of the laughing gas. You see a screen at the end of the hall flicker on, and you see a familiar face of that. It says, well, hello, kiddies. You're not supposed to be here. But I guess everyone needs a good laugh now and then. And you then see the screen flicks off, and you hear footsteps. And coming out from around the screen is a woman with ghostly white skin, black strips of clothing making up black stripes. She's got these red glowing eyes.
Mimi.
She's like, "Hi, I'm Mimi. Are you ready to play?" And you see she has a button in her hand that's like some sort of trigger for something.
What's the game?
Press the button. And that's where we're gonna cut it.
Nice. Thank you for
Amazing.
running, Steven. I don't know. Are you gonna be able to finish this up in one more session?
There's two, isn't it?
We have two. We have two.
Oh yeah, we have two. That's true.
We have two more sessions.
Two more.
Yep.
Well, thanks for everyone for watching. Thanks everyone for playing. We will be back next week with Nobody's Heroes with only 2 sessions left. Of course, we're back Monday nights, and Friday afternoon we will be hanging out with Johan from Morkborg. So that should be really cool. And until next time, stay nerdy.
Stay nerdy.
Stay nerdy.
Stay nerdy.